Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story from Dorking Wanderers with me, Daniel. It's season 15, episode 3, and today we're back, as promised, for the game away at Manchester United. We're just going to show one rather than the two because we've got a few things to talk about off the pitch. But also, this game, against the side who, don't forget, 2 years ago we were losing 9-0 to, is a chance for us to leap above them into the Champions League places. That is how far we've come. Now, admittedly, if we lose it, we could be back in 7th and talking about a disappointing season. But for me, the fact that we're very much up and in that group now is a positive sign. Reading have had a fantastic start. They're up there at the moment as well. And you can see we've got them in 2 league games' time. But for me, this is a massive moment. We're up there with United, Liverpool, City and Arsenal. Chelsea have run away with it. And while we're on the subject of Chelsea, make sure you go back and check out yesterday's head coach episode. It was a massive moment for us as we were offered some big jobs across the pond and a chance to return to our native England. And I tell you what, Chelsea was involved in that episode as well, so please do go and have a look at it. It was one of the best of the series so far for me. There was also a live stream yesterday, of course, a weekly stadium review series. Cricket 19 continued earlier today, and this one is of course back with a big match in the European race. So let's see how we get on. A massive thank you for your support with the series and the channel in general. If you're looking forward to this one, please do put a thumbs up on it and subscribe down below for all of the content we mentioned and much, much more. But for this, we need to talk about development off the pitch and a fantastic run of results. So let's start by having a look at the transfer screen. That's partly to remind you that Carlos Manuel Correa is joining us in January and he is still continuing to improve and playing regularly for Braga's under-19 side. That's a big sign for us, and actually he's playing for Braga as well. So since we've signed him, his technical attributes have all gone up by 1 and his physical one's looking a bit better as well. So I'm really looking forward to working with him. He'll definitely be as good as Petrucci by the time he gets here. But also, because don't forget, we sold a few of the youngsters from the academy for the first time this summer. And one of them we've got a sell-on clause for. And it's not a bad one. 50% of the profit for Verlon Hewitt. So don't forget, we sold this guy for 200,000. So that's suggesting basically that he's going to be sold for 400. And I'm not confident with his personality that he's going to make it at all. So I'm going to accept that and bring in another 120,000 to the club. And this is what our academy needs to be. Youngsters go in each year that we can then get sell-ons for. Don't forget, we've still got a few other big names on there as well. The likes of Stropper who's been sold. Petrucci's one that we've got to pay for when he goes. But otherwise, things looking very good on that front. So plenty of good news off the pitch. But let's go and have a look at our schedule and our recent results, which as you can see is largely a sea of green. So you're with me as we lost 2-0 to Liverpool in the last episode. We were a little worried after that game because we didn't really have a shot on goal. Although, to be honest, we were very solid defensively against a top side. And aside from Arsenal away from home in the league, we've won every other match. And they're all the games you'd probably expect us to win. We also got a brilliant penalties victory against Chelsea in the Carrabelle Cup. And we've now got a repeat of last year's final coming up as we try to push for a trophy too. So let's run through the results. We bounced back in immediate style with a 5-0 win at home to Newcastle. Zach Council got his first in his second spell. Aaron White got a goal as well. And Jeff Coppens got a hat-trick as he's won Young Player of the Month both times so far this season. We then won 1-0 at Bournemouth. Ryan Lima with the early goal. A really solid performance away at the South Coast side. And then we beat another one in the FA Cup. It was Pompey who we were 5-0 up against by half-time. We got to rest some players, bring on Roger Solly and Sam Williams for their debut, and Jeff Coppens came back in for fitness after a little injury. But we got great goals there. Tommy Frew played really well off the left. Again, Council scored. Martin Prescott got his first of the season. And of course, Kyle Brown with a big header from the back as well. Before a 4-1 win at home to Burnley. This time, Aaron White in for the injured Balic. He got a hat-trick in that one. Jeff Coppens scored the other goal, and that probably wrapped up his Player of the Month award. Into September, after the international break, we had a 3-0 win at home to Brighton. Prescott had to start due to Coppens picking up a knock, and he scored a hat-trick as well. So 2 strikers in very good form. Away to Arsenal, we did lose 1-0 to a very late goal. Again, we set up like the Liverpool game, very defensively, very solid, and it almost paid off with a big point, but it wasn't to be. Then we played Chelsea in the Carrabelle Cup. We went with the first team because we are so determined to win this tournament. We're so determined to get a trophy under our belts and just guarantee European football in any way we can. It backfired slightly because Boyce and Lima picked up knocks. They both then missed the Sunday game against Wolves. But Gabriel Afonso was the hero. After a nothing game in a penalty shootout, he saved 3 out of 4 penalties, and 2 of them were great saves. We scored 3 of ours, and young Josiah Semedo scored the winning penalty. A fantastic moment for the youngster, and he's really improving as well. Someone we'll look at before we get into the game. We followed it up with a 3-1 win at home to Wolves. Another good defensive display from the side. Curtis Jones did get a goal, a former hero from FM19 on this channel. But Jeff Coppens with a brace and Ilya Balic back from injury with a bang. Rounding off the month in style for us. Gabriel Afonso did make an error for the goal. But after the midweek performance, we forgive him. Ibai Nunes in incidentally for that one, and he played really well. Away at Brentford, Boyce was back in, played well in midfield, and Ilya Balic got the winner again. He's just coming into a run of good form now, and as you can see defensively, we're much more solid than last year. In terms of the Premier League, just 5 goals conceded so far from 8 games. And I tell you what, if we don't add to that today, I'd be very, very happy. But a wonderful start to the season, certainly nothing we could complain about. We're really pleased with where we are, and we're really pleased with how things are going both on and off the pitch. And the main reason for that, if we look at the squad, is improvements to key young players. So we were worried at first about Josiah Semedo, the young central defender we signed, but he's already gone up to 3.5 star ability, almost as good as Baker was, and you can see the improvement. He's really going well. He's driven, he's a good wonder kid, the facilities are obviously improving behind the scenes, the coaching team is strong, and Semedo is one of the biggest beneficiaries of that. A player that's really doing well. Jeff Coppens, another one, starting to finally reach that potential now. Ryan Lima still looking an excellent player, still gradually creeping up too. And to be honest, as you can see here, a lot of them have signed new deals. We've managed to keep the budgets down, so the highest 2 paid players are Coppens and Lima on 80 and 82 grand a week respectively. And that's almost on a par with the star signings from other clubs in the last 2 summers. So Balters, who's on 83, who we signed this summer, and Mertens on 85 at the back. To not have anyone on 100 grand a week and to keep things manageable is really good. We've still got a lot of backup players, as you can see, on 10, 15, 20, 30 grand a week. We're not overstretching at all. We still want to focus off the pitch and make sure we look after those finances. We've got the 2 youngsters coming through in the squad, and most of the players tied down for a number of years now, which is absolutely fantastic. So lots of brilliant news for the club going forward. Improvements off the pitch, loads of our best players tied down for years to come. None of them have release clauses, which is fantastic. And they're playing well, they're scoring goals, they're improving. Everything is perfect. So let's go into this United game and hope it's not ruined by another 9-0. And hopefully that will show you why we're only showing 1 game today. There was so much to cover off the pitch, so much positive news. And that's often the bit that gets left out. We get a little bit too upset about one bad performance, and that's not really what it's about at this stage. We're still not at the level where we can compete for Premier League titles and big European ones. So for us, a little cup run, competing for European places, and having good news off the pitch are the 3 main things at present. And with 5 years to go at least, that's what we're looking to build on. So if we go through the 11 today, it is our strongest 11 bar Balic, who picked up another knock on international duty. But aside from that, we've got everyone we'd like to have. We've got Afonso in goal, Pollock and Mazzino the fullbacks, with Mertens and Semedo at centre-half, building a really good partnership there, the 2 youngsters. Balters and Boyce in central midfield, the same goes for them. Balters had a couple of poor games, but they are playing well together. Lima and White on the wings, coming in for the injured Balic, as we mentioned, and a slightly tired McLaughlin in the number 10. But again, I mean, he's such a good player. He has really developed well. We signed him for what, 70 grand was it? 74,000, and he's now a Premier League player and captaining us. He is a bit tired, so I'm going to get Ladauri on the bench today, just to make sure we're not left too short there. But that's the lineup we're going for. Coppens up front, the man I didn't mention, of course had a brilliant start to the season, 6 goals in 6 starts. And Martin Prescott, to be fair, his ratio's just as good. 3 starts, 4 goals in all competitions. So let's go and get into this game. Can we give United a scare? Or can we at least hold on to try and get our first point against the big boys this season? 4-2-3-1 for Manchester United. They are matching us up. They've got Jude Bellingham on the left wing, another man who featured in yesterday's head coach episode. They've got Reece James at right back. They've got Jones up front, who caused all sorts of trouble against us in that 9-0. There's a lot of bad memories against United, so I'm hoping we can put a few of them right today. We're going to ask the boys to prove a point. We're going to fight as hard as we can. We did get a draw against them last year, I think, at one stage. So let's see if we can do the same again. In we go. It's United v Dorking. Fingers crossed for positivity. Well, 15 minutes on the clock. We haven't seen a highlight yet, but we've dominated the stats. And we want to try and build on that. As McLaughlin delivers, White heads into the arms of the keeper. It wasn't a great chance, but it was a chance nonetheless. Though United can just roll it out and build from the back here. And they've beaten the high press. James goes long. Jones beats the challenge. Really good play. Beats two defenders as well. Mazzino gets the challenge in. But the Smith's there on the rebound. Delivers in. Semedo, what are you doing, son? Running towards his own net. The striker slides in. And thankfully, Gabriel Afonso is able to just pick it up. But that is a first very worrying sign of the match. A long ball forward by the keeper. Only finds James, but White intercepts. Straight back to James again. Long ball forward, Bellingham beats the press. He's beaten Pollock and he's into the box. Semedo pressing him. Crossed by Bellingham. Smith's there. Hits the woodwork. We've got away with a couple of chances there in a space of 30 seconds. But United still not had a shot on target. And we've looked the better side on a large part. But here comes the pressure. On the right with James. Into Smith. Back to James again. And United have got numbers committed forward here. Barrow to Delamari. Forced backwards but finds Barrow. And again they're beating that press. On the right hand side, it's up to Van Pater. Into Delamari again. We're keeping a good line, but you just feel like they're going to break through at some point. And they do. Out to the right to James. Into Smith on the overlap. Mazzino closes. Doesn't get enough on it. Bellingham hits the bar now from a header. 3 chances. 2 of them against the woodwork. And how United haven't scored, I don't quite know. We've got a lot of our lads motivated as Boyce picks the ball up in the middle again. And Mazzino at left back just playing it round. Little bit slow on the tempo. I don't want to get caught here. Nice back heel from McLaughlin, but then Boyce gives it away. Delamari's got a chance to run at the defence. Jones running off him. I think he's beat the offside trap there. But it's tipped behind by Afonso with a really good save at his near post. It's going to be a corner taken by Jones. Obviously it wasn't an offside. As Jones delivers to the front post, Bolters heads away. And McLaughlin, don't play with it there. Get rid of the danger. He does, and it remains 0-0. Half an hour gone, Dorking still holding Manchester United. But it's Jude Bellingham on the left again, and the highlights are coming thicker and faster, and they're pretty much all coming at our end of the pitch. It's Delamari to Barrow. How long can we hold on for? Barrow into Jones. He's got Smith on the overlap, doesn't need him, turns Mertens brilliantly, but Semedo gets a lovely block on the shot, and it's out for another corner to the home side. Jones will deliver it, an outswinging delivery this time. To the back post, headed over by Cabraja. And it's another attack with James to Barrow. Not even 2 minutes since the last one. It is relentless United pressure. They're getting up ahead of steam as Barrow's cross is blocked by White. Falls for Delamari though. McLaughlin closes but can't get anything on it. Does now with a tackle, but it's straight back to United pressure. There's always a player there. That's a great switch of play, but Pollock intercepts. Can Lima counter? Over halfway. He's got 2 up with him, but he's going alone. Beats the press. He's into the box. Ryan Lima's shot saved. Aaron White can't get there. It's out for a corner. But a fantastic solo effort from Lima. And a bit of world-class quality from the winger there. Into the front post with the corner. Semedo gets there. And can he make sure he doesn't give it away? Back out to Lima on the left wing. Chance to get it in the box again, but he's forced wide and there's 2 players on him. Delivers towards Mauro. Headed away by Barrow and is back to the keeper, who will pick up and start again. 5 minutes to half time. It's still 0-0. But it's certainly fair to say United have been the better side. Long ball forward from Afonso though. Coppens beats the press. He beats both centre-halves there. It's a great save. And we still look a threat on the counter. We've got 2 world-class players in Coppens and Lima. And they're causing a bit of trouble for the United defence. Lima delivers the corner. It's a poor one. And as I talk him up, he gives away possession. Nearly half-time. Still 0-0. Not a bad scoreline. And we've competed on the shot count. So let's talk to the boys. We're going to tell them we appreciate the effort. They've really done well here. We do look a little bit susceptible at the back, but we're creating chances. And Mazzino throws into White, gets it back to him, an advanced position for Boyce, delivers to Lima. Oh, he's hit the post. He had to score that. Lima goes back to Pollock, delivers again, but the cross is blocked and now Bellingham can counter. And if we concede from this after missing a sitter, it will be sickening. Here's Bellingham, good challenge Bolters, does really well to get across there. 2 minutes gone in the second half and we've missed a gilt-edged chance to get ahead. And it's a throw into Jude Bellingham on the left as United take the chance to come forward. It's been a really good game, but Lima nicks it. It's 2-on-2 momentarily. Ryan Lima running. He's unopposed. Into the box. Shoot straight at the keeper. Perhaps a bit greedy. He had Coppens inside there, but he didn't really even look up to try and find him. But we're straight on the front foot again with Mazzino. What a game of football. The fact we're competing with United toe-to-toe is a really good sign as Boyce goes unopposed into the box. His effort just wide of the post from the edge. And I tell you what, we've had a few good chances in this match. We're starting to look at what we can do next. I'm thinking to maybe replace McLaughlin with a deep line playmaker, maybe like a holding midfielder. Try and give us a bit more threat defensively. As Coppens runs through, Coppens shoots, it's another good save. Oh, how on earth are we not ahead now? The last 10 minutes has been all Dorking Wanderers. And United now have a chance, and will they build from the back and make us rue those missed chances? Mauro out to Brower, the left back. He's got an overlap with Bellingham. It's Francois out there now, Francois to the byline, into Jones. Good save by Afonso. This tactical change is going to be the most important one. 25 minutes left. It's still United 0, Dorking 0. So we are going to do it. We're going to replace McLaughlin, and who's it going to be? Yonton is natural in that role. So I tell you what, that's the perfect change. Nunes isn't natural there, is he? No. Yonton will drop into the holding role. He will be a Segundo Volante, which was his favourite role. In fact, we can't play that tactic there because we've got two central midfielders. So Yonton will be a deep line playmaker on defend, maybe? Is he good on the ball? He's average. So no, defensive midfielder on support. He'll push into the midfield as well. Boyce can be an advanced playmaker on support. And Balters will stay box to box for now. We'll give it 10 more minutes. We're playing all right. And then we'll think about another change. Let's see if we can go and get a winner. Just over 15 left. We've wasted a couple more chances. So I'm going to replace Aaron White, who's really tired. Martin Prescott will come on for him. Winger on attack. We'll leave it 5 more. And we'll do the same on the right wing. Because Lima has been the worst player on the pitch. So on for him will come Zach Council. And that's the benefit of having brilliant squad players. Council, the strongest backup we've ever had in this position. And it gives us a chance with 5 to go. We have reached the 90th minute. We've got 4 minutes of stoppage time. And I've got a catch-22 now. Do we go for the win or hold on for the draw? I think we hold on for the draw. So let's be more disciplined. Let's slow the pace down. This would be such a big point for this club. And we have to make sure we compete with these sides. We were losing 9-0 to United 2 years ago. And now we've just got a 0-0 draw and had plenty of chances to win it. A brilliant performance on the road, a really good result, a really good display, and we are well and truly in the European hunt this season. We lost by the odd one to Arsenal, by 2 to Liverpool, and we've held United and won every other match. This is the start of something special, I feel. We're up to 3rd place alongside United, though of course City do have a game in hand. They're playing at Everton and you presume they'll win. But look at the gap to 8th, 6 points already to Leicester. We're in the Cup 4th round, we've beaten one of the big boys, and I'm starting to feel like we're on the cusp of greatness. In addition to that, off the pitch, we've got plenty happening. The stadium expansion is completed. We're back at home in Dorking. We've got a month and a half before we move into increased training and youth facilities. And again, start to look at moving forward for the club. We can improve the data ones again. We can improve the youth recruitment again. And of course, we can ask to expand the stadium again. So I feel like something's going to happen this next 2 seasons. Will we win a trophy? Will we get into Europe? Will something magical happen with the stadium, the facilities? Who knows? But there's something in the water. I can sense it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. How did you think that performance was? If you did enjoy it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. We'll have a look for when we're next going to be back. I think it has to be Chelsea away. They're top of the league. They're the biggest test. Depending on how we're going, we might have a Carrabelle Cup quarter-final around then. We might show the Leicester game as well, because that's a big one in context of keeping the gap to 8th. But let me know what you thought of the performance. Let me know how you think we're getting on and where you think we're going to finish this season. And in the meantime, if you want to make sure you don't miss any of the action, please do subscribe down below and turn on your notifications. You'll get alerts as daily videos release on the channel. We've got a big one from the head coach tomorrow. Our first game at a new club. Let me know what you think of it. Go and check out the job change yesterday. I'll put a link to the episode in the eye above. Certainly one not to miss. There's also 2 episodes a week from Cricket 19, which continued earlier today, as well as a weekly stadium review series every Sunday at 4:30. And of course, we'll be live streaming again next Tuesday at 10 AM as our Burnley Youth Academy Challenge continues. Finally, please do check out the podcast channel if you're able to as well. If you're a football fan, there's loads of interviews with current and former professionals, as well as matchday vlogs, topical podcasts and weekly prediction shows as well. So please do head over and give us some feedback. It's growing really quickly at the moment and we're really thankful for your incredible support. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support of this series and this channel in general. I really hope you continue to enjoy the content as we reach the latter stages of both stories, and I hope to see you next time for a big one with Dorking as we test ourselves against the best side in England.